If you ever wondered about the Crusades and Richard the Lionhart, then stay tuned because I'm going to kind of give you my take on it. I'm Shark Whitebeard here at Shark's Tavern, and what I've been doing this last few months during the pandemic is building my garb and my armor for a Knights Templars outfit, which was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I've been going online on the internet and stuff and looking at where I can get a good shirt of chainmail, which I got right here, and some of the armor that goes along with it, the coif they call it, that you put on the head like a hood. And this is basically, I got a surcoat that basically represents the Crusades and Knights Templars. They were knights who swore a vow of poverty and a vow to protect pilgrims and stuff going back and forth to the Holy Land. The first crusade, there was actually 3 crusades that happened. There was the first one, the second, third. Most people think of Richard the Lionheart when you think about the crusades. He was in the third one. He mostly fought against Saladin, who was like one of the heroes of the jihad on the Muslim side. Richard, of course, represented Christendom and the Knights and the Templars and some of the religious Christendom knights that came over there to fight for the Holy Land to take Jerusalem from the Muslims, who they considered infidels, and vice versa. The Muslims considered the Christians to be infidels and everything else. So there's a lot of history there. The battles went back and forth. Both sides won great victories. One of the misconceptions was that kind of like the Muslims are out there and kind of like this peaceful people, where they didn't fight each other, and they had warrior classes and a warrior set of soldiers and stuff that they fought in the Middle East for hundreds of thousands of years. The Muslims had actually invaded Europe 5 times before the first crusade. They took Spain, and later on they're finally thrown out of Spain by like Al Cid and some of those guys like that, the knights who came to fight those guys. The original conquest that the Muslims made into Europe was stopped by Charles Martel with the Christian Franks, who beat him at a battle. And Charles Martel was considered, he was given the title of the Hammer of God for stopping the Muslims' incursion into Europe back in the day. So it went back and forth. There was pilgrims going back and forth to the Holy Land. They needed protection. The knights vowed to protect them and went out there and took Jerusalem back to take the holy city in the name of Christendom. And there was quite a few battles and blood and everything else of that era. I mean, to basically all around the world, this kind of stuff was going on back and forth. So the Crusades, I always kind of thought about what it would be like to be a knight and sign on to go fight in the Crusades and the hardships and stuff that they endured on behalf of their beliefs, their religious beliefs back in the day. Of course, Richard the Lionheart, if you read his exploits and what he did in the battles he fought, is pretty amazing, kind of a bigger-than-life character. Most people think about Richard, he was out fighting the Crusades on behalf of the pilgrims and everybody else he's protecting. And you'll get the story of Robin Hood, where he was back home in England fighting against Prince John, who was the brother of Richard, and he was exploiting the English people, the peasants, and overtaxing them and everything else. Basically because his brother, the king, was gone, and he was always thought of to be like quite the corrupt guy and the villain in just about every story. So that's what comes to mind when you think about the Crusades. It was a very historical thing that happened in history, medieval times, and the battles and everything else, and the armor they wore. So I got my ensemble of stuff and garb that I put on. It's pretty heavy armor. I don't know if I'll wear it at a Ren Fair when they start up again. I might. It feels pretty good to walk around and be kind of a Knights Templar, and to think about what it would have been like to fight the Crusades back in historical times. So if you like videos like this, go ahead and please subscribe, share, like, give me a thumbs up, or post a comment. Thank you very much.